Hey everyone, how's it going? Cloud here, and welcome to my guide on the Desert Treasure quest. Now, for this quest you need the following requirements. So you must have completed these quests: the Dig Site, the Tourist Trap, Temple of Ikov, Priest in Peril, Troll Stronghold, Death Plateau, and the Waterfall quest. And you're going to need these skills: level 10 Slayer, level 50 Firemaking, level 50 Magic, level 53 Thieving, and you need the ability to defeat high level monsters up to level 84. I'll discuss about those in a few moments. There's also a couple of recommended levels. If you have 47 agility, it will make it easy to pass certain obstacles on the way to Trollheim. And also, if you wish to obtain ice gloves, which will help you obtain the smoke diamond, you're going to need level 50 mining. But like I said, they're not required, they're just recommendations. That's it for the requirements. Now onto the items. So you'll need these items: some ashes, a couple of anti-poisons, 1 blood rune, some normal bones, charcoal, 6 molten glass, 12 magic logs, 6 steel bars, a silver bar, a chocolate cake, a cake or a chocolate bar, climbing boots, as well as spiked boots. Now I shall tell you how to obtain the spiked boots during the quest, but you'll need actually another pair of climbing boots to make them spiked, so you'll need 2 pairs of climbing boots. Again, I will show you where to obtain them during the quest if you're not too sure. Some garlic, some spice, a face mask which can be replaced by a Slayer helmet if you have access to that. You're going to need about 50 plus lockpicks, which I'll talk about a bit later on in the guide, and obviously a recommended item again are ice gloves, and that's in order to wield a weapon with your main hand while fighting one of the enemies. However, you can fight him with your offhand weapon, but again I will talk about that a bit later on. And then for recommended items, you're going to be travelling in the desert a fair bit, so you might want to bring some water skins with you. Some single click teleports such as an Ectovile or a teleport tablet will be handy for escaping fights that could get you killed if you're not careful. And obviously the sort of usual setup for fighting enemies: food, armor and weapons. Now the main majority of these enemies you'll be fighting during this quest are all weak to magic with different elemental spells, so what I highly suggest, if you can, is bring your best sort of magic armor and weapon with you, and obviously enough runes to sort of do enough castings of each of the elemental spells, so fire, air, water and earth, and that will make this quest a lot easier for you. Now obviously that was a lot of requirements and items to list there. I have put them all in the video description section, which you can view below, just to make sure you have got everything that I mentioned at the beginning of this quest. And as you can also see in the items, or in my inventory on the screen, some of the items I have brought are noted, such as the molten glass, the magic logs and steel bars, as well as the lockpicks, and that's because it's possible for you to still use those items in this quest in their noted forms. Minus the lockpicks, there's a little trick in order for you to save, keep going to and from the bank, so you can bring all the items in one go to make it easier. And what I shall do each time we're about to fight a main enemy, I will tell you to prepare yourselves with food, etc, etc. The final thing before we carry on, this is quite a long-winded quest. You're going to be obtaining different diamonds during the quest, and there's a different sort of parts you need to do to obtain each one. Even though I'm carrying all of the items with me during this filming, I will say what items you need for each section, just in case you can't bring all of the items with you like I currently am. So, that's it for the requirements and items. Now onto the quest starting point. So, we're currently at the Alcarid lodestone, which can be accessed via the lodestone network. Now, we're going to be going to various lodestones during this guide. So, if you don't have full access to the lodestone network, I have a video in the description below which tells you how to unlock them all, and it's going to really help speed up getting this quest done quickly. So from here, the quest starting point is to head to the Bandit Camp, which is located in the desert. So from here, if we head south to Shantae Pass, we will then be able to get a magic carpet ride to take us to the Bandit Camp. For this part, all you really need is some coins and a couple of inventory spaces, and obviously you're going to be in the desert, so if you want to bring water skins, it's up to you, but you won't be in there overly long. So, once you arrive in the Bandit Camp on the magic carpet, you'll see there's a nearby archaeologist who's just near where you've landed, and you want to talk to him, and he will tell you he has found a stone tablet which speaks of a hidden treasure in the desert. He will give you some etchings to bring to the archaeological expert Terry Bolando at the exam centre, which is in the dig site. Now the dig site is located northeast of Varrock, so what we're going to do is teleport to the Varrock lodestone via the lodestone network. From here, if you keep heading directly east all the way along, eventually you'll come up to a gate which you can open, and then if you go east again after that, you should then arrive at the exam centre, and you want to talk to Terry, who is, the NPC is called the archaeological expert, but his actual name is Terry, and you want to talk to him and he will take the etchings off you. Once you've gone through some dialogue, talk to him again and he will give you a translation to take back to the archaeologist. So we now want to head back to the guy who we started the quest with. However, you're going to need to bring some extra items with you if you don't already have them. So you're going to need your 6 steel bars, 12 magic logs and 6 molten glass, which can be noted, like I said earlier, your charcoal, your blood rune, your ashes and your regular bones. Also, the area we're heading to, if you wear an item of Saradomin or Zamorak, the bandits in the camp will attack you, which won't allow you to carry on with this quest. If you have any god-related items, just put them in the bank. Once you've got all those items, you want to head back to the archaeologist in the Bandit Camp, using the same way as we got there at the beginning of the guide. So once you got back to the archaeologist, inform him of Terry's translation and agree to split the treasure 50-50, and he wants you to dig around for information down at the Bandit Camp while he searches for clues amongst the Bedouin nomads. So from the Bedouin Camp you want to keep heading south until you reach the Bandit Camp, and you want to look out for the bar or the pub, which you can see on the mini-map, just looking for the beer icon. Once you're in there, you want to talk to the bartender there and buy a bandit's brew. Drink it and then talk to him again and ask about the 4 diamonds, and he will tell you to look to someone else about the diamonds of Azandra. So we now need to look for a guy called Eblis, who can be found either in or near, because he occasionally wanders outside, the house directly east of the bar, past the general store. If you just keep sort of looking at each person until you see one with the name Eblis, because he will wander around if he can. Ask him, once you've found him, ask him if he knows about the 4 diamonds, and Eblis at first will be hesitant about your motives and go on to explain about the diamonds, saying that they were taken during the God Wars. He says that he needs several items to create scrying mirrors that can tell you about the location of the diamonds, not necessarily where they are, but where they have been. So you want to use the items that I mentioned earlier on Eblis, which is the steel bars, the molten glass, magic logs, the charcoal, the blood rune, the ashes and the normal bones. Make sure for those items you are right clicking, as some of the left click options will get rid of them. So once you've given him all those items, he'll tell you to meet him a little distance southeast of the camp, which is at the Bandit Camp lodestone, which you can't activate as of yet. You want to head over this direction here where I am now, and you'll see on the mini-map a small brown ring which will indicate where you are. You want to go to the small hill and you'll find Eblis standing between 6 mystical mirrors. Talk to Eblis, and then if you look into each of the mirrors you'll see 6 locations across Runescape, which will tell you about the diamond's current location and a couple of other locations that are related to them as well. So, once you've looked in all the mirrors and spoken to Eblis, we now need to obtain each of the 4 diamonds, which are now in possession of a strong guardian. Now, diamonds can be obtained in any order, but I would stick to the order that I'm going to talk you through during this guide. Just a little heads up, should you keep any of the diamonds in your inventory, there is a chance you'll be attacked by a level 81 stranger who attacks with a dragon dagger. So, as soon as you sort of obtain the diamonds during this quest, it's safe to bank them until you need them at the very end of the quest. So, the first diamond we're going to obtain is the Blood Diamond, located in Canifis, and the Guardian we defeat is called Dessus. These are the items you're going to need for this part. You'll need some garlic, a silver bar, and spice. And the recommended items, obviously, as I said before, is magic, as that's what he's weak against, and obviously plenty of food and runes to last you throughout the fight, but also a form of emergency teleport just in case you need to. So, when you're ready, we're going to travel to the Canifis Lodestone via the Lodestone network. Once you arrive, you want to head into the Hair of the Dog pub, and a cutscene will play. If it doesn't play, just go ahead and talk to Malak, but you'll see Malak, a vampire lord who demands a blood tie from the tavern's owner. Malak then wants to talk to you regarding your business in these lands. Tell him that you are looking for the Blood Diamond, to which Malak replies by saying that it belongs to a vampire lord named Dessus. Malak will make a deal with you, kill Dessus for him and you can have the Blood Diamond, and he will say that you need to get a blessed pot of garlic and spice blood in order to draw Dessus out. Now make sure to have Malak talk to you about the blessed silver pot, otherwise you'll have to go all the way back later in the quest. Now, to make the offering pot, he suggests you talk to a man in the Drainer sewers, so we're going to teleport to the Drainer village lodestone via the lodestone network. Once you arrive, you want to head to the trapdoor, which is located just north of the marketplace, which takes you into the sewers. And then if you go into the sort of mid-section of the sewers, you should see a man called Rune, and you want to take a silver bar to him. He will then give you a silver pot in exchange. Now, to bless the pot, you require the help of the High Priest on Intrana. So the quickest way to get to Intrana is to go to the Portstream lodestone via the lodestone network. Once you arrive at Portstream, you want to head to this ship that takes you to Intrana, which is on the northern part of the docks. Now, you can't bring any armour or weapons on Intrana with you, so you can use the little bank deposit box to put them in the bank. Obviously, there will be an opportunity for you to quickly use the bank again before you go to the fight, so don't worry too much about that. Once you make sure you've got no armour or weapons on you, you want to talk to one of the monks to travel to Intrana, and then if you head into the main church, you want to talk to the High Priest on the island, and he will turn the pot into a blessed pot for you. So once he's blessed your pot, you want to return to Canifis via the lodestone network again. Head back into the pub and talk to Malak, and he will damage you for 50 life points and fill your blessed pot with your blood. You then want to right click the garlic to crush it into some garlic powder, and then add that to the pot of blood, and then also add your spice to get the completed blessed pot. So this is the part we're now going to fight Dessus the Blood Forager, so you want to obtain any armour, weapons and food you're going to need for the battle. Dessus is weak to air elemental spells, so try and use the strongest air spell you can to dispatch him pretty quickly. Now, Dessus can be located in the graveyard, which is located directly southeast of Canifis in the middle of the Mortmire swamps and directly south of the Haunted Woods, so it might be wise for you to open up your map to find that location. It should stand out a mile off to you, but because we're going to be heading through the Mortmire swamp, it is possible that some of the ghast will rot your food. So when you're ready, you're going to head to the graveyard. Just watch where my character's going and I will lead you to the direction of the graveyard. Once you reach the graveyard, you should see the tomb which contains Dessus. You want to prepare yourself by activating any prayers you wish or any potions you want to drink ready, and as soon as you're ready you want to pour the blood on the tomb to summon Dessus. Now Dessus is level 84 with 3000 life points. He's got 2 attacking styles, which is a melee and range / magic attack, both which have a fast attack rate. However, if you've got a suitable prayer level, you can probably use some form of protection against him, and again you can use any magic and defense boosting prayers as well. But to be honest with you, I have done this quest a few years ago on my older account before the EOC, and the enemies in this are a lot easier to kill compared to back then, so you shouldn't have much difficulty against him as long as you're using air spells, and also don't let your health fall too low. After you've successfully killed Dessus, your character will make a comment about where the blood diamond is, and you now want to head back to Malak in the Canifis pub, so just teleport back to the lodestone network. Once you head back into the pub, talk to Malak and he'll give you the blood diamond and take the blessed pot and thank you for killing Dessus. Make sure you bank the blood diamond immediately to prevent having the stranger come after you. So that's the blood diamond obtained. The next diamond we're going to obtain is the ice diamond, which will be located in the ice area, which is sort of north of Trollheim. Now the guardian of that is called Camille. So these are the items you're going to need for this part. So you're going to need either a regular cake, or chocolate bar. You'll need some spiked boots. Now you can get these made by bringing to Dunstan, the Burthorpe blacksmith, an iron bar and a pair of climbing boots. But you're also going to need an additional pair of climbing boots. Now you can obtain them from a dwarf who is located northwest of the Burthorpe lodestone in the mountains. I will show you where she is before we go and head to where the ice diamond is, as my character needs to obtain some spiked boots himself. And because Camille and the other enemies we're going to defeat are located in the ice path, they are all weak to fire spells. So you want to bring runes to cast the strongest fire spell you can, and again obviously good armor and some good food. Now the area we're heading to has a different effect. So the icy area reduces every single stat by 1 every few seconds, while also dealing 200 life points of damage. Adrenaline and run energy are also decreased in this time. Now there's a few things you can bring which will help you against that. So some super restore potions will help boost your stats back up. Some prayer potions will also help against the fight. Obviously lots of good food to stop your health falling too low. And emergency teleport method is definitely recommended, because if you die out there it's going to take you a while to get back to them unless you've got a tombstone that can last a long time. And also if you have level 30 plus magic, you can use the surge ability, which makes your character go forward quite a few spaces, which will help decrease your time spent in the cold. Now don't worry about the fight against the Guardian too much with these conditions, because he's actually ridiculously easy if you do use fire spells against him, and you'll probably find you end up hitting him before he even really gets to you, like my character did. So make sure you've got all the items you need that I've mentioned, and when you're ready you're going to head to the Berthorpe Lodestone. So once you're at the Berthorpe Lodestone, if you need to obtain some climbing boots and spike boots, here is where you can now. So like I said, you can head to the dwarf who is located just west of where we are now in a house, and you can buy 2 climbing boots off her. And obviously if you bring 1 set of these climbing boots to the blacksmith who is located in the northern part of Berthorpe, he will turn them into some spike boots if you give him 1 pair and the iron bar. When you're all ready, we're now going to head to Trollheim. Now, if you have the magic level and quest requirement to do so, you can teleport directly to Trollheim, which will save you a lot of time. However, if not, you're going to have to walk all the way there. Now, obviously, as Troll Stronghold is one of the requirements for this quest, you guys should have gone to Trollheim before, so you should know the main sort of way there. But obviously, just watch where my character's going during this sort of clip, and I'll show you where we're heading to. What we're actually going to do is obviously head to where Trollheim is, then kind of go around there and continue north until you reach an icy area. So if you guys open up your mini-map and sort of look where Trollheim is, we're going to be heading to the ice area, which is located just north of where Trollheim is. So that'll give you a little bit of an idea. But like I said, just watch where I'm going and I shall lead you the way. So once you've gone past the Trollheim rock throwers and start heading north towards the ice area, you should see a small troll child standing by an ice gate. You want to talk to the child and he'll start crying. Give him either a cake, a chocolate cake or a chocolate bar to make him stop crying, and he will tell you that his parents have been captured and frozen by a bad man because they stole his diamond. Now, what we're going to do in a minute is enter the ice gate and walk east towards a cave. Now, as soon as you enter this ice gate area is when that snow effect starts taking place, so just be aware of that. Now, the cave is blocked by 5 chunks of ice, preventing passage. Now, what you need to do is kill an ice troll, which will make 1 chunk fall down. So you need to defeat 5 of the level 89 ice trolls, who do a fair amount of damage. However, if you've got your fire spells, you should dispatch them pretty quickly, and you should be able to stand a good distance away from them. What you can do, obviously, if you start worrying about your stats and health, if you climb back through the ice gate, you can obviously restore from there, as the snow won't hurt you from that point, and then when you're ready, go back in and kill some more ice trolls. Now, once you've killed 5 ice trolls, before you go into the cave, I do recommend quickly going back through the ice gate and healing up in whatever way you can. You can even get your character to rest for a little while just to get your stats and life points back up, and just make sure you're sort of full strength before you carry on with this next bit. So, when you're ready, you're going to go through the cave that you just unblocked by killing the ice trolls. Now, as soon as you go through the cave, there's a load of level 95 wolves who are aggressive, so if you have Protect from Melee, it is recommended to use that. Obviously, because of the snow effect, your run will be drained as well and turned off every time, so you need to manually turn it back on. If you press R, if you're using EOC, if you press R on your keyboard, you will switch run on automatically to save you clicking on it instead. The path you're heading on is going to be quite difficult to see on the mini-map as well, so you just kind of keep looking on your main screen rather than the mini-map and just keep clicking on there to sort of guide your character. So when you're ready, go through the ice gate and then head through the ice cave, and then you want to get past the wolves. Now, as soon as you're about to pass through the last few of the wolves, you'll see Camille, the Warrior of Cold, appear and come for you. Now, he's very weak to fire spells, however, he's probably one of the most difficult enemies out of this quest. Now he does a spell which is similar to Ice Barrage, which can make you stay still. However, if you're using obviously magic, you can continue to hit him. If you find your character isn't firing spells while he's frozen, just use this time to heal up. When he gets to half his health, he will stop freezing you, however, and then you can consistently keep hitting spells at him. Now he has a combat level of 126 and he's got 3,150 life points, but to be honest, if you're using the strong fire spells and you're not letting your stats get too low, it shouldn't take you long to dispatch of him. Obviously the main thing you want to be careful of is obviously because you're taking continuous damage from the snow, which is draining your stats. Don't let your stats fall too low, otherwise you're not going to be able to do much damage against him. But to be honest, you will have a pretty quick fight with him like I did. As I stated earlier, the quest is a lot easier now compared to what it was a few years ago. When you've finally defeated Camille, he'll drop a super restore potion and 2 chocolate cakes which you can use to get yourself back up to health if need be. After Camille has been defeated, you can turn off all your prayers and use your food sparingly, as there'll be no more fighting for this diamond. You just need to worry about the constant 200 life point damage happening. So once Camille is dead, you need to follow the ice path to the northwest. The path winds anti-clockwise around a small mountain. Now, when you can, keep using the surge ability if you have it activated or unlocked, as that will make you travel around the ice area a lot quicker, especially if your run keeps getting drained and turned off. Once you get near this ledge here, you want to put on your spiked boots and climb up the ledge. And then what you want to do is keep following this icy path all the way to the very end to find the frozen trolls. Now you will fall as you walk along the ice path and take some damage. Super restores may help you here, since higher agility seems to decrease the fall frequency. However, you can also do the surge ability on this ice path, which will help you get around it quicker. So follow the ice path all the way until to the top, until you see another gate and a bridge, and on the other side of that the trolls' parents are encased in ice. Once you get near the ice blocks, they have 1,000 life points each, and you want to attack the both of them to free the troll mother and troll father. After freeing the troll parents, they will thank you and take you back outside the gate, and their son will give you the ice diamond as thanks. Once you have this ice diamond, you want to go to your nearest bank and quickly deposit this diamond as well, and obviously that's your time to restore any fallen stats, health and prayer before the next part. So once you've safely deposited your ice diamond, we're now going to obtain the third one, which is the smoke diamond, which can be found in the smoky well, and the guardian of this one is Forager. Now for this part you're going to need these items. You'll need either a face mask or slayer helmet. You can get some ice gloves that will massively help you with the fight. However, the effort to go to getting these ice gloves isn't really worth it in terms of the way you can kind of get around the fight, which I'll speak about in a moment. Runes, armor and weapon for casting water spells, as he's weak to this. Recommended items. Now you're going to be doing a part of this quest where you need to light these torches before a timer runs out, so some run energy restoration methods such as super energy potions, explorer's ring, terror bird will help you restore your run, and also any weight reducing gear like spottier cape or boots of lightness will help as well, and obviously decent armor, weapons and food. Now, regarding the armour and weapons, like I said a minute ago, you can obtain these items called ice gloves, which will allow you to fight Forager with your main hand weapon. If you try and fight with your main hand weapon and don't have ice gloves, it won't allow you to cast any spells from it. However, if you're doing dual wielding magic, so you get an offhand weapon, so you can get anything like sort of a bat wing book or an orb, any sort of magic offhand weapon that allows you to cast spells from both hands, what you can then do, you can actually still fight him with your offhand weapon, but you can't use any abilities, so basically you'll just stick to sort of normal combat. However, because the enemy is really not that difficult, you shouldn't have much trouble against him. I only kind of discovered this halfway through. I originally thought I would be able to harm him if I stayed a safe distance away from him with my main hand weapon, but it wouldn't let me. However, I soon learned I could just fight him with the offhand, and you'll see during this clip that I barely lose any health and items fighting him. So like I said, if you do wish to obtain the ice gloves though, in the video description below I have written a little guide on how to obtain them, but for the purpose of this guide, because I feel you don't really need them, I'm not going to worry about showing you guys that. The very important thing though is just making sure you've got an offhand magic weapon which is going to cast the strongest water spell you can. So when you're ready, we're going to head to Polnaviac. Now the quickest way to get there is to go to the Alcarid lodestone via the lodestone network, head directly south to Shanty Pass from there, and then get a magic carpet to take you to Polnaviac, and I'll speak to you in a moment. So once you arrive at Polnaviak, you want to sort of go directly south through the town and then kind of go west from there, and you should see a sort of dungeon entrance icon to the very west of where the town is, and that's where the Smoky Well is. Now, before you go into the smoke dungeon, make sure you're wearing your face mask or Slayer helmet. So once you're in the smoke dungeon, you want to start heading into the middle part of the dungeon, so just watch where I'm going and I'll lead you to where we're going. Now, when you get near the middle bit, you'll see there's a chest, and when you attempt to open it, it will say light the path to claim the key. Now, in each four corners of this dungeon, there are torches that you need to light using your tinderbox from your tool belt. So the order I recommend in lighting these torches, and obviously once you've lit the torches you need to get back to the chest in time, so obviously like I said there's one torch that needs lit in each corner, so this is the order I would go in lighting them. You want to start with the very southwest corner, then go to the northwest corner, then you want to go to the southeast corner, then the northeast corner, and then back into the centre of the room of the chest. Now, as long as you're pretty much running throughout this entire bit, you won't run out of time. Obviously just be a little bit careful of your run energy. I actually didn't bring any run restore potions with me. I just let my run energy fall low and then just waited for it to go back up itself and then carried on running, and I still did it in time. So if you guys have bought any sort of energy restoring items with you, you shouldn't have a problem at all. So when you're ready, you need to go and light all four torches in the four corners of this area. So just watch what my character's doing and you'll see how easy you do it. So once you've lit the fourth torch, you want to head back into the centre room to find the chest that we originally tried to open, and if you did all of it on time, when you go to open the chest you should obtain a key. Make sure you've got an inventory space for this key though. So once you have the warm key, you want to go to the eastern part of the dungeon near where we lit some of the torches from earlier, and you'll find there is a gate, and once we use the key on this gate, Farid will be awakened and we need to kill him. So Farid is the Guardian of Smoke, and he's arguably the easiest out of the four bosses. His combat level is 120 and he has 3,000 life points. Now, like I mentioned earlier, ice gloves are needed to wield a main hand weapon against Farid. If you don't wear the ice gloves, you won't be able to cast any spells from your main hand weapon. However, if you've got your offhand weapon with you, you can still fight him, but just don't use any abilities. You'll just stick to doing normal water spells from whatever one you cast. And to be honest with you, if you're using prayer and you're restoring your health when it gets low, it shouldn't take you long to destroy him. So, like I said, all the effort into getting the ice gloves really isn't that worth it. If you guys really do have a problem with defeating him without ice gloves, obviously you'll want to read the bit I put in the video description below of how to obtain them. But don't forget, you are also going to need level 50 mining in order to access the area which has the ice gloves. So like I said guys, my character isn't exactly an overly high combat level, so if I manage to do it, I'm sure you guys can as well. So once you finish killing Farid, the smoke diamond should automatically appear in your inventory. If it doesn't, it's probably on the ground because you might not have had inventory space, so make sure you do pick it up, otherwise you're going to have to fight him again. And once you have the smoke diamond, head to your nearest bank and put that diamond in the bank as well, and we'll be ready to obtain the fourth diamond. So, once you've safely put the smoke diamond into the bank, we now need to obtain the last diamond, which is the shadow diamond. Now, the fight for this bit isn't exactly hard. The actual bit before that, though, is most likely the very most frustrating part of this quest, and it all depends on your luck. So, I will tell you what items you're going to need first. So, you're going to need an awful amount of lockpicks. Now, the amount needed depends on your thieving level and some luck. Some players have required as many as 100 lockpicks to get past this bit, as you're going to be trying to open a chest. And it literally is so random that you can't, even if you use 99 thieving, you probably would still have difficulty doing it. It's all down to luck. Now, what you can do, as like I mentioned at the beginning of this quest, is bring noted lockpicks with you, as there's a shop near where we're going to be opening the chest where you can sell the lockpicks and then buy them back for the same price, and that saves you going to and from the bank then. Other than the lockpicks, these are the items you'll need. So you'll need a couple of anti-poisons, as it's possible to get poison from the chest we're going to be opening. You can bring some strong anti-poisons that will extend the duration that you'll be immune to poisoning for. That's more likely to be recommended. And then other than that, you're just going to need obviously magic armor, weapons and food again to fight the Guardian, which is Demis, who is weak to earth spells. So you want to use the strongest earth spell you can. So when you have all those items and you're ready, you want to head to the Ardone lodestone via the lodestone network. Once you arrive, you want to head towards the fishing guild and then head west there to where there's several moss giants, and then just north of them there is a fencing area near Backstorian Falls, and you should see a man wandering nearby called Rizzolo, and you want to talk to him about a diamond, and he will tell you about the Shadow Diamond, which is protected by a guardian named Damis, in a dungeon which can be only entered with the use of a ring of visibility which he holds himself. Now, he is willing to part with a ring of visibility if you can retrieve his gilded cross that was stolen by Lahib of the Bandit Camp. Now, this is the really annoying part that I told you guys about, and obviously what you're going to need all your lockpicks for. So make sure you've got as many noted lockpicks as you can bring, and then when you're ready, you want to head to the Bandit Camp. Now, we was there earlier, so if you want, I'll quickly explain how to get back there again and just speed up that little bit. So teleport to Alcarid Lodestone, head to Shantae Pass, and take a magic carpet to the Bedouin Camp, and then keep walking south until you reach the Bandit Camp. And I'll speak to you in a few moments when you're there. So when you're in Bandit Camp, you want to go to the most southern tent, and you'll see that it's a secure chest. Now, this is what we're going to be opening with the lockpicks. Now, like I mentioned earlier, there's a nearby general store. Now, what you can do is sell some of your noted lockpicks to the shop and then buy them back for the exact same price in their unnoted forms. This saves you going to and from the bank having to bring unnoted lockpicks with you. So obviously you're not going to, if you've bought 100 noted lockpicks, obviously you don't want to go and sell all 100 because you can only carry 28 items max at a time if you're carrying no other items in your inventory. So just sell to the shop how many lockpicks you actually want in unnoted versions and then just buy them back. When you're ready, you want to use a lockpick on the chest, and you will then proceed to do the method to open the chest. Now, the chest has 3 locks which you must get through, all of which will reset if any attempt should fail. So if you open the first lock and then the second lock fails, you have to start again, and if you get to the third lock and it fails, you have to start again. You literally need to be lucky enough to unlock all 3 locks in one go. Now, each failure will break a lockpick and deal between 20 to 30 life points of damage. The hit splat is always green, but you're not actually poisoned every time. If you are poisoned though, it will take a bit of damage, but like I said, you can use anti-poisons to boost the duration you're immune to it. Now, you can buy some bandit brews from the pub, which will boost your thieving level by 1, which may give you some help with the chest, but to be perfectly honest with you, as I've done, like I said, I've done this quest in the past before, it is mostly down to luck. So, you know, you could have the minimum requirement of level 53 thieving and do it first time, where someone with a level 99 thieving might take 50 lockpicks to get it open. So it all depends on your luck. So I was actually quite fortunate and didn't take that many lockpicks to get through it. There's no other sort of way of getting around this part. You know, if you are unlucky enough to use 100 lockpicks, it's nothing you've done wrong, it's just, you know, it's the quest has decided to be an arsehole to you. That's all I can say. But like I said, the quickest way of just getting through this part is obviously bringing as many noted lockpicks as you can, sell them to the general store and buy them back in unnoted versions, and then just keep trying to open a chest until you eventually get the Gilded Cross. Once you finally get through the 3 locks on the chest, you'll obtain the Gilded Cross, and then you can return that to Rizzolo for the exchange of the Ring of Visibility. Straight after you get this ring, we're going to be going to the Shadow Lair, so obviously you want to bring any armor, weapon and food you're going to need with you. And obviously you'll find Rizzolo at the same spot that we went to earlier, so go to the Ardone Lodestone, keep heading northwest until you reach the area. So once you find Rizzolo, give him the Gilded Cross and you obtain the Ring of Visibility, and you want to wear it, and now a ladder should appear to the east of Rizzolo in the fenced picnic area, and this is the entrance to the Shadow Dungeon. So when you enter the Shadow Dungeon, you'll be in the very southwestern corner of the dungeon, and you want to head all the way to the far east of the dungeon, which is a really wide open area, and this is where Damis, the Lord of Shadow, will appear. Now, there are several enemies throughout this dungeon, but I don't think they're overly aggressive, but it does depend on your combat level. But obviously, if you need to use any sort of protection prayers to get you through, then do so, and obviously heal up when necessary. So when you get to the big open area, Damis will then appear. He is a level 84 enemy with 3,100 life points, and he has 2 forms, both of which have the same combat level and life points. His first form is a basic fight against a melee combatant, but whereas his second form will drain 20 prayer points for you every sort of second when in combat with him, but he only uses melee. Now, like I said, if you're using earth spells against him and you're doing some good abilities, you shouldn't take too long to defeat him, actually. And like I said, if you find he's doing a lot of damage to you, then obviously you can use any relevant prayers to protect you from that. There are a couple of several safe spots. However, he may disappear into the shadows if you try and do this, which will mean you have to exit the dungeon and then re-enter again to make him appear. So to be honest with you, you won't have much difficulty against him if you're using his earth spell weakness, so you shouldn't even need to worry about safe spots. Once the mist has been defeated, you want to pick up the shadow diamond, then you want to teleport to your nearest bank and then bank the diamond. And now you would have attained all 4 diamonds and we're ready for the final part of this quest. So, we're now going to do the final part of this quest, which again comes down to luck. Now, basically, all you're going to be doing during this bit is a hell of a lot of running through a pyramid. Now, there's different traps in the pyramid which can't be avoided. They only randomly trigger, but they tend to trigger less if you're constantly running. So, you don't want to bring any armor or weapons with you, really, because you're not going to be taking any damage that much. Any weight-reducing equipment will come in handy, and any prayer stuff will help, so you can use protect spells during this bit if you need to, and obviously plenty of food to heal up if you take damage from the traps, and a form of emergency teleport, as the last thing you want is to lose all 4 of those diamonds you've just gone to try and obtain. So when you have got all the items you need and the 4 diamonds as well, you want to return to Eblis, which was the guy we spoke to at the mirrors in the Bandit Camp. So I shall speak to you when you're there in a few moments' time. So once you're at Eblis' location, you want to head directly south of him and you'll head towards the pyramid. Now this is where you need to use your diamonds to open the pyramid. So there's 4 sort of obelisks in each corner of the pyramid, and you need to use a specific diamond in order to activate the obelisk. So the blood diamond goes in the northwest obelisk, the shadow diamond goes in the southwest obelisk, the smoke diamond goes in the southeast obelisk, sorry, the ice diamond, apologies, and then the smoke diamond goes in the northeast obelisk. Once you've done that, you would have activated all 4 obelisks, and now you can grant yourself entry to the pyramid. So to gain access to the pyramid, you want to go to the northern side of it and then climb the stairs to go all the way to the top, and there'll be a part where there's a door and then a ladder. So, for this next part, literally all you're going to be doing is going to different floors of the pyramid, and you need to run from one ladder to the other. Now, there'll be some mummies that will try and attack you, as well as some scarab swarms. However, you won't be near them long enough for them to do lots of damage to you, as long as you're consistently running. Obviously, you can use Protect from Melee to help you if you need to, and obviously just heal up where necessary. But the most important thing is just to keep running throughout each of these floors as fast as you can, as obviously different traps will trigger, and you will find the further down you get, you could get a trap triggered, which will take you all the way back to the beginning of the pyramid of where we are now. So this bit can be frustrating. I think I fell for the traps about 4 or 5 times, but I will tell you where each ladder is located on each floor, and then again it's just down to your own luck. So, as soon as you are ready, open the door and go down the ladder, and you'll be on level 1. You'll find the ladder is directly north of where you are now, so just follow the room all the way around, and just try and run and dodge every enemy or trap that tries to trigger, and then climb down the next ladder. You'll now be on level 2, and again the ladder you're heading to is directly north of where you are on the mini-map, but you need to go all the way around this floor, so all the way to the east, all the way to the south, all the way to the west, and then all the way to the north to reach the ladder, and again you'll have traps and enemies after you. The next ladder on level 3 that you're going to be heading to is directly south of you. Now this time you need to sort of go to the middle section on the mini-map, then go all the way to the east, and then all the way to the south, and then all the way to the west to reach the ladder. The quickest way of doing this is just keep clicking on the mini-map near the ladder, as you should see it, and your character should head automatically in that direction. And then on the level 4, the ladder will be located directly north of you. And then on level 4, this is the final floor, and there won't be a ladder you're heading to, but instead an altar, which is located directly north of you. And how you get to that is basically just sort of run to the north-western corner, then the north-eastern corner, and then just follow the tunnel round until you get to the altar room, which is protected by a door. Once you open the door and go through, you'll then be safe. So like I said, there will be different traps triggering through all 4 of these floors, so you may be as unlucky to get to the 4th floor and then trigger a trap and have to do it all again. There is no way of sort of preventing this as much apart from just keep running. It all comes down to your luck again, so hopefully you guys don't have too much difficulty against this bit. So, once you finally make it to the altar room, you should see a ghost called Azandra, who is sort of roaming around the altar. You want to talk to him and find how he has lost track of time and believes that the God Wars are still going on, and he asks about some ancient unknown civilizations. He is also surprised to see that he cannot hear Zaros in his find anymore. Azandra, finally coming to you peace with the reality, rewards you with the ancient magics of Zaros for your efforts, and will thank you, and it will come up with congratulations, you completed the Desert Treasure quest. You're awarded 3 quest points, 20,000 magic experience, the ability to use ancient magics. At any time you can pray at this altar to change between the standard spellbook and the ancient magics spellbook as well. You would have got the Ring of Visibility. If you ever lose it, you can obtain another one from Rizzolo for free. You can buy an Ancient Staff from Eblis for 80,000 coins if you wish to. However, they're currently on the Grand Exchange for about 70k, but it's up to you. You'll have access to the Smoke Dungeon, which can be used for various Slayer tasks. Access to the Zorazian Gravestone. You'll now have access to the Bandit Camp Lodestone, which was near those mirrors we was at earlier. 2 Treasure Hunter Keys and 2 Hearts of Ice. So there we are, finally, quest completed. A very, very long quest, not overly difficult, I must admit. Obviously, like I've said a couple of times during this video, I have done this quest before on my main account a few years ago, and it was a whole different story back then. It was much more challenging. It's actually ridiculously easy now compared to how it was back then. It's just very long-winded, all the travelling around you need to do. However, the ancient magics are very handy. Obviously, the higher magic you have, the better ancient magics you can obtain. You can get to this pyramid anytime you want from the back entrance, so don't think you have to go through all the floors again like you did for the first time. Basically, on the outside of the pyramid, where we originally entered from the northern side up the stairs, if you go to the southern side of the pyramid, there's a little shortcut that you can use to go through there, and that will just allow you to come back directly to the altar. Obviously, having access to the Bandit Camp Lodestone now, which will take you about a 1-minute walk from there to get to this pyramid, so it's very easy to change back from normal spells to ancient magics at any time you want. Obviously, the 20,000 magic experience will bump you up a fair bit as well, and also this quest is required for an awful lot of other quests as well. So again, this is one of the main quests you need to get completed in order to unlock a lot of other higher tiered ones for even better rewards. So yeah, I have gone through this guide as thoroughly as I can with you, and I've tried to give you as many tips and helps as I can, but like I said, for a lot of these parts, like especially the bit with the lockpicks and obviously with this pyramid, it all comes down to your own luck. You don't actually have that much control over it at that point. It just depends if you've got a lucky character or not. Like I said, I was quite fortunate with the lockpicks and didn't use many. Some of you might be very unfortunate and have to use like 100 lockpicks just to get that chest open, but there's no other way around it, unfortunately. Now, if you do happen to get stuck at any part during this guide for any of this diamonds or the final bit, leave a comment in the comment section below and I will help you out as best as I can. But if not, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I have worked hard on this guide, so would appreciate it if you like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and also don't forget to share with your friends. Thanks everyone, and good luck. Bye bye.